In today's video, I'm reviewing your studios, ones like this little beauty, all the way to this little beauty. Welcome back. So today I am looking at your studios. I put a message out on YouTube for you to send me pictures of your rooms so that I can tell you, with my limited knowledge of studios, how to make them sound better and how to set them up so that you can get a better sound. So if you're watching this won't be your room, but apply what I'm saying to your room and hopefully, well, I know it will make your room sound much, much better. And if you can hear what you're doing, you're going to make better music. So let's tuck in. So we're going to dive into my computer now. And after you've seen all of these, hopefully because of the comments that I'm giving, you're going to be able to see there's kind of general stuff that are the basics that you need to get right in most rooms to get the room sounding better. So let's dive in. We've got this guy here playing with his very cute little dog there. Now this looks like it could be a good setup because, you know, he's got everything positioned quite nicely in the room. He's in a rectangle. He's sort of at one end, which is great. You don't want to be sitting in the middle because that you get cancellation from the bass bouncing off the back wall. But these panels are very sort of small. They're not going to be absorbing much sound. These speakers are quite small though. There's not a lot of bass going on there with those speakers. They're at a good head height, I would say. Maybe, yeah, I suppose when he's sitting up, then this tweeter's going to be on his ear. But there's some foam going on here. Now, foam is a big no-no for me because it only absorbs sort of, it doesn't absorb much. It just stops reflections of high frequencies. So it's not great. These panels are very small, so it won't be as dead as it should be really for him to be able to hear. There'll be a lot of reflections going on. There's nothing on the ceiling, so you're going to be getting reflections bouncing off the ceiling back to his head too. So he needs some more panels coming in. I'd put a panel up the top. I'd put some proper bass traps in the corners rather than these horrible foam things. And I would put some decent reflectors on the side. I don't know what he's got going on at the back here, but yeah, that would definitely sort this room out quite a lot, I think. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, this guy is a nice little studio thing. Looks pretty good from the start. You can see he's sitting in the kind of triangle of the speakers, but these look like really quite flimsy stands that are on here. So I'd want something a little bit more solid. They also could be, I'm making this up, but they might be attached to the desk, which isn't great. You really want them behind the desk and you want them as solid as possible. I would also have I'd have something underneath these speakers to detach them from the stand so that they're kind of floating, but you want them on a solid base anyway. So that's not great. I'd move he's also got the screen in front of here. So really, if you think about speakers, they're going to come out like this. The sound is going to come out in a sort of V shape from the speaker. So really you want everything behind the speakers so that the V is just coming into your sweet spot, which is, you know, where you're sitting in the V of the speakers, as I've said on previous stuff. So yeah, for me, I'd have that screen back and I would have those on stronger stands. I think that's good. I'd also want to see maybe a smaller table. He doesn't need this much flat space around him. So really, like just a little square in front to get his stuff going so that there's no reflections coming off the speakers here. So yeah, fair bit going on. There might be a panel there. That might be that. I'm not sure. I can't see any panels in this room, so just from purely speaker setup and reflections coming off the desk and the back of this monitor, that's what I would sort out there. This one, wow, geez, there's a lot going on in here. This is very busy. So for me, I would turn this room around because he's really close to the wall on this side and then not close to anything on this side, so that's a bit weird. This speaker here looks like it's pointing in a different direction to this one. So they're all over the show because of this is in the way, I guess. So I would want to have this so it's more of a triangle. So I would put the desk on this wall where he's got those guitars. And I would then have the speakers coming out. He needs some panels on the wall then either side so that he doesn't get reflections. Maybe something on the ceiling, maybe something in the middle. So, but first and foremost, before even getting into panels, I would just move the room around so that the speakers were on this wall coming this way, because then you've got equal distance between each speaker to the side walls. and then you're sitting in the middle, or you're sitting more towards the front of the room. In this corner, it's just going to be weird because you're going to get quick reflections coming off this side and then long reflections coming from this side because there's loads of space. So yeah, that would be my first thing, and then I'd get on to putting some panels in the room to start absorbing some sound, and then position most of this stuff out the way, sort of more at the back, because it's kind of messy. Okay, this room. This looks quite nice, doesn't it? It's got a nice little desk. He's got some gear going on. These, again, I would get rid of this foam nonsense because it's just not doing anything. I think it looks cheap and nasty, and you just put a panel up there would make a massive difference to the sound. That's just reflecting high frequencies. Looks like there's a window this side, so you're going to be getting splash off of that window from that speaker. And then this wall's going to be giving you a different sound. So I'd be looking to maybe get a panel up here and another panel up there, because he's only got bass trapping in one side and no bass trapping in that side. So that's going to give you an uneven sound left to right. So be a weird stereo image going on in here. Also, I like the foam under there is good because it's kind of decoupling the speakers from the stands. Stands look okay. Maybe probably fill them with some sand, get them a bit stronger, but they look all right. They're actually, yeah, they're just thinner, aren't they? Yeah, they're okay for this size speaker anyway. They're not going to need they're not going to move the stand too much. But I would probably turn these speakers the other way round because the tweeters are really wide. So I would be, if you're sitting here, then you really want the triangle sort of there. So that would be why I'd have the tweeters the other way. Yeah, I think then the bass would sound better. I think apart from that, yeah, there's quite a few things there to sort out, as I've just said. So yeah, hopefully that gives you an idea of that. Oh my goodness me. Okay, here we go. So yeah, I remember this one being sent in to me a while ago. Now, mental. This is basically just use headphones. Like, he's shown me the V that he's doing, which is cool. It's got the right idea there with the V. But I mean, look, the rest of the room, it's just a nightmare. And the desk it's on, and they're not on any stands. These are reflecting off the desk. Those things right there, those headphones, I'd get those on and I wouldn't even worry about doing the room. I think that'd do. Okay, this is pretty nice. This is quite a nice room. I like the desk. It's, you need a desk that's going to hold your gear. The speakers are positioned really well. I like that. There's a good V shape to those ones. These ones are a little bit closer, so maybe if you've got your head in here and you're monitoring off those, you sit back a bit and you can monitor off these ones. Pretty cool. This is good on the top. That's taking some reflections away. I probably would have put these closer together so that I got rid of those reflections happening there, but they might bounce off and soak up. I don't know without being in there. These panels, I'd probably want some thicker panels going on, especially in those corners. You're still going to get a lot of build up in this bottom area down here of bass. So yeah, I'll be wanting some more panels in. There's a vocal booth here, I think. So that's going to have a different sound to this side. So that's a bit of a shame that's there. Yeah, so I'd maybe have like a floor panel or something there, just sitting off the floor on a stand. But the rest of it looks okay. The desk is pretty nice. Yeah, just the paneling needs a bit of sorting out, and maybe some more bass trapping around the bottom. But, he hasn't got any big subs or anything. These focal speakers here aren't going to let off too much low end. So I think, I'd probably want a sub down here in the middle or one either side to be able to get some decent sound, but then you're going to need a lot more trapping on that. Okay, let's go to this one. This is a cracker. This one's brilliant. It's got really nice ceiling on it. The lighting's great. It's got paneling all the way down the sides, very symmetrical room. This is what you need. You need some symmetry in a room. He's sitting 3/4 up the room, which is great. He's got a desk there. It's probably getting some reflections, but it's nice and he needs it. So that's cool. And there's a piano at the back. That's pretty nice. Don't know if that's making a noise from the speakers with a bit of bass, but who knows. He's got the ATCs with the bottom subs. Super nice, really lovely speakers. You need those subs too because they don't get much bass out of just the tops, but the mid-range is fantastic. Yeah, nice bit of sort of stuff going on at the back. This isn't going to make too much of a difference as long as he's a bit more far forward. This might make a bit of a sound change left to right because it's not symmetrical exactly at the front. but I think it'll be okay, because I think because you're right in the V of the speakers there, it's not going to make too much difference, and all the reflections are really covered off with these panels. So yeah, nice. I probably would want some trapping, but I don't know what's at the back here, so maybe there's some more bass trapping, but there's probably a load of trapping in this ceiling here. And that's one thing I would say, if you are short on space, you can always put really thick panels on the roof, and that'll absorb some bass for you. So that's a good tip if you're, you know, short on space around the studio and you want to, you know, got loads of bass build up, sort of do that. But use SonarWorks, use REW and fuzz measure, easy for me to say, to measure your room to see what's going on. But really, you can just use your ears, go around the room and just listen for where that bass is building up, and then bang a trap in that area. But try and keep things symmetrical, stay away from foam, and I think you'll be all right. So this is a nightmare looking at other people's rooms, because I want to change mine now, but I hope you've seen from this that all the different things that you'll be able to do with your room. Now, if you are a member of the Streaky Academy, you can send me your pictures on there and I will review them and tell you all the different thoughts and tips I can give you. But you need to go to streakyacademy.com and sign into the audio anoraks there. So if you want to send me your pictures, head over there now. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like this video. See you on the next one. Bye.